Hey guys, Ultimate Nova fan here. So with this video, I will finally be wrapping up the list of characters that appeared in the Man Called Nova series from the 1976 to 1979. Up until now, you've seen every major character that was introduced for Nova to interact with and fight against or join forces with. All those characters, to some degree, were conceived in the Nova book. There were three villains that I did show that came from the Marvel Universe. But oddly enough, that brings me to this video, which consists of three characters that appeared in Nova's book as well, that are very well known Marvel characters and were not created for the Nova book. Obviously, Spider Man here to the left. In the middle is Nick Fury from S.H.I.E.L.D. And to the right is the Mighty Thor. All of these are 1970s incarnations of the characters because of the book obviously was released in the 70s. And these are my cartoon creations of them. I'm very proud of my accomplishment in recreating these characters. And I can't stress enough how there's a moment when you feel a certain pride that comes along with doing something and the results that you get are to your satisfaction. In this issue here, we have Spider-Man and Nova meeting for the first time. Obviously, a big deal considering the very first issue uh, has a tagline in the tradition of the Amazing Spider-Man. So, yes, they meet, and there's a set of circumstances that bring them together. If you look very carefully, I'll zoom into the book again, and if you look down at the bottom of the book, you can see there's something that happens to a person. And obviously, without saying any more about that, brings these two characters together. Uh, Maybe we can even see here on the bubble what they're speaking of. I don't have all the words there, so forgive me. They're just screenshots. They were only meant to show you that they were introduced to each other in this issue, which is 12. And again, the Spider-Man character that I created, the webbing was the hardest thing for me to do. And I learned a very valuable lesson about textures and patterns and how to make that a lot smoother in creating it versus what I had to do to get that character to look that way. And again, it's just me admitting to you here in this video that everything that I'm doing, everything I've done, everything I will be doing is all, just the journey going about learning, growing, and sharing. Nick Fury was very straightforward in his conception as well. This is obviously the Nick Fury from the 60s and 70s, not to be confused with the one that we see in the Marvel Universe that's depicted by Samuel Jackson. Yes, there is a black Nick Fury in the comic books as well. They just didn't decide to hire Samuel Jackson for that character and make him black. But let's get a zoom in picture of Nick Fury from S.H.I.E.L.D. in this issue. There he is. And again, I looked at a lot of pictures to get, his belt, his gun holster, and obviously the eye patch. So that turned out to my liking as well. And if we move over here, I've showed the Nova versus Thor book before, but I did not show you guys my creation of Thor. And I have to say this one came together really nice because I built this character just looking at the comic, and then I made different viewpoints like I've stressed before, and I'll keep saying that, and then you all will see them as all this unfolds. That the hardest thing to do was to learn how to make a cape. I think I had made a cape once before in my very early learnings of the program in animation, but I've gotten better at understanding how to connect it to the character and it still be its own separate entity. Um, because of that, and having made as many views as I made, it really does give the illusion that I copied this mighty Thor as closely as one could, and I stressed a lot of times that I didn't want to be too highly detailed because I'm just a cartoon character artist. I don't mind it being a little kiddish or amateurish. I don't mind that at all. So I recreated Thor's helmet, the feathers, um, the costume, again the cape. Which let's do this. Since this will be the last video, maybe I'll give you a little sneak peek of movements. I've done movements, and that's not necessarily what I'm alluding to here. What I want to do is make sure that you all understand that for everything that I've accomplished and everything that I feel good about, there's so much still I know nothing about. But if we go over here and I activate the bone manipulation and I bring this picture up just a little bit here and then go back to that. I again, oh, you've seen me do this now in a lot of videos. There's the head swivel and the arms move, and wait for it. There is his hammer moving with his hand. Now, uh, the 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 hammer is attached to his hand, but I can release that if I wanted to. Not in this showing, but all I want to show you is that I can make the hammer move as it should in his hand, and I can make it swing, his arms swing. There are bones that I can control a certain way so that movement doesn't happen. But I just wanted to show you that I created a hammer, Thor's hammer, the one that's now mocked and made fun of in the movies. But this wasn't hard to do once I understood the basic core principle of how the characters move. But look at that cape. That, for me, was a great accomplishment because not only could I move it this way, there are another set of bones here which I can move midway, and then another set of bones I can move at the very bottom. So there's three intricate levels of movement in the cape, and that is significant because if you want that effect, like it's the wind is blowing or he's jumped and the cape needs to move, I can even move points on this um, um, cape as well. And that can make it spread out or even kind of flip up. And no, I'm not great at that stuff, but I'm showing you that I have a basic comprehension of how to move characters after I create them and put them in position to have bones. And for me, that's all I needed was to see my characters come alive on the screen and then create different perspectives to allow them to look like they're in different angles, which creates another illusion of movement when you see them at a different angle. Spider-Man, for example, nothing special about Spider-Man in that regard, I should say. I just want you to know that, see, I've got the head swiveling and the body moving and his arms are up, and it's a little difficult when you make a character a certain dimension and then you try to pose him and he doesn't pose well because you didn't take into account all the things that you wanted him to do. And that's where some of these other angles come into play. But the arm's length and the leg length sometimes won't let me put them in a famous pose, and I'll get over that. I'll get past that. I'm not even going to try to tweak a lot of that. I'm going to be okay with what I've accomplished here because for me this is the thing that is my pastime. It's my pet projects. It's therapy. It gives me balance in my life. I feel like I'm really well-rounded as an individual, and I've gone through life like everybody else has, ups and downs, and highs and lows, and good and bad, and um, disappointment, success, all that stuff. This is just one of those aspects of my life that I've been able to regain. And I want to say that, I want to emphasize that because I went through a lot of years not using my art to make me feel more complete as an individual. And I have to believe that's what I was given the gift of drawing for, um, to give me a certain type of wholeness. And I apologize if a lot of people don't feel that way or I sound silly for sounding a little inward, shallow, or or a little self-absorbed. That's not my goal here. It's to share, and that's what I like doing. And I don't I don't want anybody to pity me, feel sorry for me, or even feel like they have to give me an unnecessary amount of positive reinforcement. This is just what it is. It's just me creating things in the world that everyone feels they have something to offer. Whatever it is, and this is mine, and I like finding it again. I like that it was a rediscovery for me because I went so many years admiring people who were creative and all their different forms of creativity. And I had something within me and couldn't find a way to get it out. And a friend helped me, a very dear friend who I no longer has as a friend. I've lost him. And that's not a story I want to tell. Let's just say that we never forget those things. And I forgot my love for art so much that I didn't think that it was a place for it in my life. I just thought I was a kid, I could draw, I got a little bit of talent. It is what it is. And then you grow up and you start to think that, there are time to be an adult and there's a time to be a child. And I'm rambling a little bit here, but I want you to know that when I started to learn that the new methods of, well, maybe I said that wrong. Forget methods. When I started to embrace a lot of modern day technology, when I was introduced to the world of computers specifically, and software programs and applications and things that you can do to further be creative, be more creative, um, challenge yourself to go to the next level of creativity. Look, I was all in, but then I still didn't know what I was doing, and I figured something out here with this. And if it just still turns into a big art project, I'm fine with that. And the mild accomplishments in animation that I've have achieved, I'm okay. More years with more years ahead of me to learn and maybe never ever see or tap into my full potential. That's not what this is about. You know, the greater part of I want to say 7 years now from really creating characters, my own personal characters, which I don't showcase on this channel. This is about Nova. But once I did that, it seemed like the most logical step was to play around with something that I liked and learn something in the process. And now I have a lot of hands-on knowledge and experience utilizing my love for Nova and my curiosity for being able to do all these things that we couldn't do in our homes. They were only done by elite people in studios with big machines and all the elaborate toys. And now look what we got. I'm creating all this stuff like everybody does now in the world. And we share it all on social media. And that's what I'm doing. So I think I've talked enough. But this will be the video that wraps up all the characters that were in the Man Called Nova series from 1976 to 79, issues 1 through 25. I honestly don't think I left anybody out, and I can't imagine I have with the amount of information I've provided up to this point. So I'm looking forward to showing you guys little bits and pieces of stuff, and we'll go from there. And thanks for watching, and thanks for watching any of the videos before this one. And if you have it, that's fine. I think you can get the you can get the bulk of what I'm trying to put out here in the world. So this is the Ultimate Nova fan signing off for now, and more videos to come. And thanks again, guys, for watching.